You know, every once in a while, everyone has to do a little math. What you're running from versus what's worth fighting for. And maybe wonder if it's time to turn and catch fire. Ripper, Zero, GD, even Reza. They're all mates who have put themselves on the line for me when it comes to Navasari, and I've mostly ducked out of anything resembling owning up. So maybe, just maybe, I do something worth fighting for. Ripper, keep the light on, would ya?
Valentine! Time to get your butt out of bed. Your first client's arriving in 15 minutes. I don't think anyone's gonna go for your jacket and a whiskey bottle familiar a second time, even with illusion magic. I've got your favorite donuts. Rum raisin, for some reason. Valentine? Not a puppet again, are you? Valentine? I peek into Valentine's bedroom. Well, he calls it a bedroom. I call it a hide-a-bed and a stack of books. His tape recorder is laying on the floor, plugged in and still going. What the dark web is going on? Just a minute! Come on, Thread, get your glamour on.
Hello? Oh, hey. Don't bother with the glamour on my account.
Eris!
Hi. Just came by looking for Valentine. Have you seen him? 5'10", red duster, can't flirt.
I've seen him try. He gets all red and fidgety.
Yeah. Let's get a drink.
Good times. Whew. So what you need? Is there another insane hedge witch turning people into puppets? And did Valentine hook up with them?
Not that I know of. I dropped by because Valentine was supposed to meet me for coffee, and he didn't show.
Well, it's 10 o'clock, and that's usually his lying face down on the couch refusing to start work time of day. But he's not here. I have no idea where he's gone.
Bummer. I was supposed to give him this.
Eris pulls an old book from her messenger bag. The worn brown leather has a network of web-like cracks and creases edged in some off-purple color that reminds me of a 3-day-old bruise. Stamped and carved over the book are oblong shapes with weird off-kilter edges and incomplete lines. I don't know if the runes are meant to protect the contents of the book or warn people away, but I know abyssal magic when I see it. Put that away.
Suit yourself.
What is that book?
Honestly, I'm not sure. It's known as the Book of the Thief by people who deal in this kind of stuff. Got it for cheap from an occult bookseller on 13th Avenue. I think they just wanted it gone.
The Book of the Thief. I heard someone talk about the thief during a poker game at the last round. Then a frog messed everything up. Long story.
It's mostly rumors and stories gathered through the years. Its origins are based upon a thief who stole magic from an abyssal creature hundreds of years ago. Valentine told me it was for some personal research.
Valentine doing research? Wow. Sounds like character growth to me. I feel like I should be hearing a level up tone. Well, I guess I should go track him down. He's probably out there trying to investigate something.
Isn't that his job?
Believe me, things go sideways fast when Valentine tries to do his job. Drinking, sleeping, playing Bon Bon Blast on my phone. That's where he excels.
If you need to find Valentine, we can help.
Who's we? Eris snaps her fingers and her shadow begins to extend along the wall. It waves at me, revealing a vicious set of teeth. Which, when you think about how a shadow puppet can have teeth, gets strange. As I look at her horrifying smile, darkness starts to leak from the edges of my vision. Coldness creeps along my wings, and I feel frost blooming in my lungs. Then, with one word from Eris, it all stops.
Sis! Threadripper, please meet my sister. Sorry, sometimes she gets a little carried away with new people. She just likes to know what makes you tick, you know?
Hello.
It's complicated.
Magic Shadow Twins and Valentine going full hero on us. 0 Day switches to decaf and we have a trifecta of strange. Let's go find him.
Okay, so, where do we start?
Well, he's banned from Brewster's and Bonzini's and at least 2 Cold Stone Creamery outlets.
Okay. Any contacts we can reach out to?
There's Crowbrain, but he'll demand tacos, and Valentine's still afraid of the Mexi gremlin.
Is that why this place smells like chili peppers and vinyl?
Oh, that's a whole other thing. 0 Day decided to create one of those flailing inflatable arm guys in his own image, enjoying a taco. He kept screaming, "I am your god now, inflatable arm being! Now crunch!"
But how did that lead to...
0 Day's ideas always come with complications. He's the only supernatural in the city whose actions can be considered a natural disaster. Mostly so the City Hall goblins don't need to pay out on insurance claims. It got really expensive.
And Valentine works to help keep the peace around here?
In his own stubborn, self-serving, and sometimes self-destructive way.
This is the man who holds the power of abyssal magic in his soul. Gods help us.
Hey, you may know Valentine by reputation, but I've worked with him for a long time. He took the cards life dealt him, and he built something.
Oh my gosh. Thread, of course, you're right. Please forgive us. I think I built him up in my mind, you know? The hound of the street magicians, the inked wizard with abyssal magic in his blood. He's a legend in some circles. He's half the reason I came back to the Queen City. I admit that part of me just wants to sit down with him over a cup of coffee so I can brag to my friends. Another part of me wants to bind his soul to a neutralizing sigil. That part's mostly my sister.
He might enjoy that, actually.
The coffee or the soul binding?
Don't ask. But, mentioning coffee gives me an idea. I think I know where to start looking.
Is this Roca Jack's? I thought this place closed down years ago.
Well, it did. But a local god loved the place so much, he created a version of the shop in a pocket dimension. This place is kind of an echo of the original. The decaffeinated god will make you the coffee drink of your dreams.
Really?
But don't order the gluten-free sandwiches. They've been sitting in that case since 2005. You know what? The cruelty-free broccoli is a little questionable, too.
Threadripper, you've brought a guest. Welcome, Eris and company. Does your sister have a name, or shall I call her your shadow?
Let's go into the back and I'll arrange a personal meeting with you and her.
No need, angry guest. I don't need to know her name to know the perfect drink for her. Incidentally, she hates caramel macchiatos.
No way. That's our all-time favorite.
So she says. For the dual-souled magician, a half and half Americano, complete with a lovely ethereal dark roast that will feed both yourself and your sister. Miss Ripper, for you, your usual unicorn princess extended frappuccino.
With a single green skittle on top?
Of course, Miss Ripper.
Ugh, that's so gross.
Say, is Valentine in here somewhere?
He is not. In answer to your second question, no, he is not here. Nor do I have any information as to his whereabouts. In answer to your third question, the raw sugar is over by the magazine rack.
How did you... Never mind.
Guess we're back to square one. At least I got this awesome frappuccino out of it.
Perhaps you should ask if he came in earlier.
Why don't you just tell us if he came in earlier?
Perhaps there are rules that even a demigod must follow. Or perhaps I'm bored. Take your pick.
Okay then. Perhaps your drink sucks and we both hate it.
You love it.
True.
Valentine came in here earlier. I made him an espresso with rum and whipped cream. I called it the Valentini. Then he requested some coffee grounds from my supply.
What would he want with coffee grounds?
Miss Eris, my coffee grounds are far from ordinary. They carry a residual charge of magic, and can be put to all kinds of uses. Summoning, warding, binding, illusions, you name it. You can also throw them down the kitchen sink every so often to keep your pipes clean. In fact, I recommend it.
So that's what he's up to.
Cleaning his pipes?
I'm gonna ignore that. Valentine's gonna do a ritual of some kind.
But for what?
Oh, decaf?
Yes, Miss Ripper?
What could Valentine summon with those grounds?
The grounds could be used to gain access to a pocket dimension, much like my own. Tricky business, pocket dimensions. They're often used to store valuable or powerful things. If that's what he's after, I hope he's prepared. Most pocket realms are well guarded. He'll need a weapon if he expects to survive a trip to someone's vault.
Okay, I gotta call Riza. If Valentine needs weapons, she'll be his next stop.
We're sorry. Your call is originating from a pocket dimension. The laws of time and space do not apply to your current location.
Stupid pocket dimension.
Why did you think you could place a call from a pocket dimension in the first place?
Why are you talking to me?
I get lonely.
Perhaps I can help you with locating Miss Riza.
The decaffeinated god extends one of his long fingers and smears a symbol in espresso grounds on my phone's display.
What?
Riza?
What's going on? Discount Devil Hunter get himself locked out of the booze cabinet again?
Riza, are you a rope with Jax right now? Riza?
Crap.
I look up from my phone towards a private booth in the back, obscured from sight with a discreet curtain marked reserved. Eris and I peek our heads behind the divider. What we see can never be unseen. Riza is sitting with Anne, Valentine's ex Larissa, and several other supernatural denizens of the Queen City. Half-empty glasses of wine, paperbacks, and notebooks are scattered around the table. Riza's face is etched with rage, but the rest of her looks like a J. Crew catalog. Her spiky pink hair is pulled back into a simple ponytail, a starched white shirt, slacks, and oh my raspberry pie, are those boat shoes?
You tell Valentine about this, you die. So what's up?
Valentine's missing. Did he reach out to you about anything?
Yeah. He needed a weapon that could break something undead, shadowy, and grumpy as heck. So I made him something and told him it was a dumb idea.
What was a dumb idea?
I don't know, but it was his idea, so I figured it had to be dumb. I was hoping you'd already talked him out of it.
That was all he told you? Give me a weapon for something undead, shadowy, and grumpy. That's like half the monsters in the Queen City.
He said something about investigating an Algea that was hiding out somewhere around here.
He's investigating creek scum?
What? Not algae.
The Algea. They're sisters who feed on sorrow, grief, and pain. Why would they be in the Queen City? What does Valentine want with them?
Easy. Who's a running guilt case in this city? Someone who's managed to summon an abyssal, get his girlfriend possessed, and hasn't fixed it in 30 years? He's a $4.99 all-you-can-eat self-loathing special at the Ferrygate Bellagio.
Care to help us out, Riza?
Black's still got me on every flavor of probation you can think of. So I ain't getting in on this. In fact, I'm still in the middle of my book club.
So what's the book this week? What was that?
The Gunsmith's Heat.
Oh! Is that the one about the female gunslinger and the lady sheriff in the Old West?
Yes.
And the scene with the outdoor shower and the lasso?
You know what? I'm starting to miss your boss.
Well, enjoy your tales of lost souls finding love in each other's arms under the hot desert sun. Bye!
The Hound of the Shifters is not exactly low-key, is she?
Riza comes from a bunch of Vikings, pirates, bikers, and brawlers. She makes jokes about being a ninja fighting pirate queen, but I don't think she's joking.
Oh, so what's the story with her and Valentine? Half the time I think she hates him.
Hate him? No way. They're like brother and sister. Valentine teases her about her hair and boots and her ferret form, so she steals his girlfriend and wrecks his car.
I think you're strengthening my case.
No, but I've seen them step up for each other. One time, Riza was challenged by a rival shifter who wanted her title as Hound. On the day of the fight, Riza's second was missing. Turns out guinea pig shifters are horrible with dates. Valentine volunteered to be her second.
So how'd they do?
Well, I missed the fight, but I found them at O'Hanlon's with their noses in 2 giant pints of shifter stout. They looked like they went through a meat grinder, but they were laughing about it like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah, that seems like Valentine's whole approach. Act first, take some bruises, and laugh it off.
He likes to play at being the fool, but there's more to him than that. Valentine's always trying to do better. I mean, you know how many people he's brought in from the cold, saved from random evil cults? No one ever thanks him, but he keeps doing it. The people out there, walking around, living their lives, they'll never know him. But their world would fall apart without people like Valentine.
Sometimes, I believe that's what most street magicians see when we look out at the Queen City. We're given a window onto the world, but as soon as we stick our heads out, we're told that we don't belong. I grew up with an imaginary friend who never went away. Most people with chimerism don't form close relationships with their absorbed twin. My parents started sending me to doctors when I was 7. It just never ended. One diagnosis, then another one, followed by a tilt-a-whirl of medications, all because the people around me couldn't come to the obvious conclusion.
What was that?
That I had a shadow twin and we could cast spells together.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah. Anyway, it's hard to hold down an office job or sell frozen yogurt at the mall when you can call on the shadows to fight magical monsters, or when your sister decides to start torturing some random person because she sees the evil intent in their soul. It's a lot more satisfying to operate in the open, to do things like binding demons to a shadow dimension. even if you're never going to get a word of thanks from the ordinary world. I think there's a place for us here.
Well said. Say, do you happen to know a well-dressed, faceless man with needles for hands whose body is half flesh and half smoke?
That's strangely specific. But no. Why?
'Cause he's over there waving at us.
Come on, down the alley.
Eris?
What?
You know a crowd of well-dressed, faceless folks with needles for hands?
I think we're in for a fight.
No. We have no desire to fight.
You know, I'd believe you if you had faces and fingers on the ends of your hands.
Little Pixie, Basri wishes to speak with you. She did not request your friend or her baby sister, but I have no doubt she would like to speak with them as well. The more, the merrier.
Stay behind me, Thread. Sis, are you going to keep our new friends waiting?
We are not frightened of shadow puppets.
Alleyway shadows gather into the shape of a young woman alongside Eris. A quick flick of the wrist sends a wolf pack-shaped blackness at the faceless man, latching onto his neck. The shadow pack drags him to the ground.
You cannot strike us down so easily.
Eris makes another gesture with her hand, and the shadow forms a circle around both of us.
When they rush me, run!
What? No, I'm not leaving!
I can't take them all, but I can give you some time to get away and call for help.
The massive faceless folk press in on the protective shadow dome. Black spears burst from the ground, but the creatures ignore them and continue to press in closer. One of them gets an arm through the barrier, jabbing at Eris with its needle fingers. Just as the lead faceless creature pushes through the shadow barrier, a full-length body mirror drops down between her and needle fingers. The image in the mirror waves at the faceless and yanks it in. More mirrors drop around us, intercepting our faceless attackers. One by one, they get yanked away by their reflections. The mirrors vanish abruptly, leaving us standing alone in the empty alleyway.
Well, that happened.
That actually worked. I finally got the mirror trick to work.
Who?
Oh my video card, you're Jackie Smoke! I've seen your act at the casino. I knew you were a real magician. I could just tell.
Oh, you could. I better tone it down for the normies.
No. Don't ever tone it down. You're my favorite. And now that I know you have real magic, you're like my own personal Zatanna.
Thank you, darling. I've never had that one before. So, what's going on here? Are faceless people with little fingers all part of a regular Tuesday for you two?
Well, we were trying to track down a friend and these monsters got in our way.
Guy in a red duster named Valentine.
Valentine? The Hound of the Street Magicians?
He would say otherwise, but yes.
In that case, I think you need my help. I've got a few new tricks I've been practicing that'll really light up the stage.
You have been listening to The Graveyard Tapes. Where's Valentine? Part 1. Written by Dustin Gray, adapted by Aidan Morgan. Edited by Angela Dumoulin, James Nichols, and Nikki Ewart. Engineered and produced by Miguel Diaz III. With the voices of Chase Hunter as Valentine, Rick the Whitebird as Threadripper, Nikki Ewart as Eris, James Nichols as the Decaffeinated God, Caitlin Sinnott as Riza, Corey as the Faceless Man, and Brianna Jean as Jackie Smoke.